Probably now, actually, as Gruev goes down and Leeds get a free kick.
He's had an excellent afternoon. Sonstad topped his performance off with a goal. And Leeds fans a little insight as to what they can expect for the rest of the season. I think he's been affected in both halves of the field, going forward, supporting the lone striker, Joel Perrault, his defensive capabilities as well. I think he's going to be a real asset to Leeds United going forward, Anton Stach.
So Harry Greer's on, 16 years of age, son of Andy, brother of Archie, who's moved on to Tottenham, of course, in recent seasons. I'm pretty sure that his granddad Frankie actually was involved in that Cup Winners' Cup final we were talking about earlier on in 1973 when AC Milan beat Leeds 1-0 in Greece. Here is young Gray. It's quite a dynasty, isn't it? There's Okafor.
Been a good test for Leeds today, it really has. I think you saw the 11 that the manager picked to start with. But at times it's been a friendly as we discussed, but I think there's times in the game where you can see the structure of the side, you can see the pressing points, the trigger points, if you like, the shape, the system, what the manager wants to play. And I think if they do come out of this with a result, it's been a very successful pre-season for them.
90 minutes up on the clock now, 2 minutes of added time to play. For AC Milan. Well, space opened up there, lack of a proper left back out there, just being exposed. What an opportunity for Diego Sia to win the game for AC Milan.
Well, he's touched the ball twice since he's come on, Diego Sia, hasn't he? And two fantastic opportunities for AC Milan to win the game. Finds himself in a lot of space at the edge of the box. Just can't quite wrap his right foot around the ball. Went high, up, above and away. The low point in the stand away to our left, the lowest point in the stadium. Then he went bouncing down Lansdowne Road, that one.
Well, Leeds will look at the pre-season campaign that they've had. 5 games, 2 wins and 2 draws coming into this as Gray scampers forward, hoping that Leeds can make it 3 in the winning column. Not sure that throw will be theirs. Byron wanted to take it quickly, but nobody in white shared that thought. Rodon sent to the edge of the 6-yard box as Byron wants to propel this into the danger area. It's beyond Rodon. Now he takes the tumble. That's never going to be given. Byron drives it in. Rawhead gets it away. Is that going to go behind for the corner? It is. This will be the last phase of the game, Paul.
Don't mind seeing that from Leeds' point of view, because if this was a Premier League game, they'd be looking to win it. They've got an opportunity like that for a long throw. An injury time, added time in a Premier League game. That's exactly what they would do. Put everybody forward now, apart from the goalkeeper. An opportunity to win the game with a last kick.
And Harrison it is who's going to take it. Good delivery too. It's cleared by Sia, and that will bring the 4-time whistle here at the Aviva Stadium. Honours even as Leeds United complete their pre-season campaign with a very creditable draw against the mighty AC Milan. Behind at the break through Santiago Jimenez's strike but Leeds dominated that second half for huge chunks of it, and midway through it they found the equaliser through the impressive Anton Stack. And Leeds will take plenty of positives from today and the other 4 games that they've played during this pre-season campaign as they build up to the big kick-off a week on Monday as Everton go to Ellen Road. Finishes here at the Aviva. Leeds United 1, AC Milan 1.
Well, that rounds up Leeds United's pre-season here at the Aviva Stadium, where it ends Leeds 1, AC Milan 1. And I think it's fair to say, Bex, that second half, Leeds were a bit more dominant, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Look, when they started passing the ball a little bit quicker with a little bit more purpose, that's where the opportunities started happening, the spaces and the gaps started being created. The only downside was we were only able to see one goal from Leeds United rather than a couple more. It would have been nice to see a few of the attacking players get on the score sheet or cause a few more problems to the goalkeeper. But all in all, it was a very good second half especially. Well,
we will have a look at the goals shortly, but Stuart, how do you sum up that game? Particularly, you know, we've seen some of the new signings come on today. They've had a run out. What did you make of them?
Yeah, I think it's been a successful game for them. You know, against a real quality opposition as well. And you know, when you look at the 3 main games that Leeds have had in pre-season, you know, Man United, Villarreal and AC Milan, and they've had 3 draws, you can say it's been a successful pre-season. The manager will have taken loads out of that. He said before the game that he wanted his team to suffer at times. I don't think they had to suffer too much. They got the goal in the second half. They were dominant in possession, but just couldn't obviously go and find a winner. But he'll be delighted with the effort that the players have put in.
Well, look, Bex, we know that Daniel Farke is a very pragmatic manager. What do you think he'll make of that performance?
Look, he's one of those managers that likes to look at positives, but also whenever there's something that needs improving, he's not afraid to pick those positions out, pick those players out, and have a word with them in a positive way, not so much a negative way. So, all in all, it'll be disappointed Leeds United conceded a goal in the first half, but the second half performance, there's a lot of positives to take from that.
And we'll talk more about those positives because, like you say, Bex, there were plenty. But I know in that first half, you were slightly concerned about Leeds United out of possession at times, weren't you?
Yeah, especially on that the right fullback position. We spoke about it briefly. Schmidt found himself in no man's land, a little bit isolated, lack of communication between himself, Dan James playing on the right wing, and Joe Rodon as well at times. But the second half was a much more composed and calmer performance from himself, from Schmidt especially.
Absolutely. And in the second half, Stuart, we saw Lucas Perry come off and Cardallo on. What was the thinking behind that from Daniel Farke, do you think?
I don't know, you'll have to ask him. But no, I think well, Daniel touched on it before the game. He said that if it had been a competitive game, he maybe wouldn't have put him in the start. So he obviously has a slight injury, or has had a slight injury concern as to why he obviously didn't play last week. Carl has done nothing wrong. You know, we talked before the game and we were just ruling Carl out straight away by saying that Perry's going to.
Perry, yeah.
Naturally, when you spend that money on a goalkeeper of his stature, you think he's going to come into play. But you know, Carl will be chomping at the bit to try and keep the shirt from last season. He had a bit of a scary moment in the second half there, but he didn't have anything to do. And so yeah, the manager has his reasons for changing the goalkeeper at half time. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that next Monday.
Well, look, Bex, Leeds kickstart their Premier League campaign against Everton next Monday. Do you think Daniel Farke knows who his starting 11 are?
I think he's got a very strong idea as to who the starting 11 are. If not the full 11, definitely 9 or 10 of them. Again, the goalkeeper position, you could argue, is one of those areas he's not quite sure on. And in the midfield, 3 or 4, he could ask a question there. But aside from that, yeah, I would say 9 or 10 players he's sure on.
Look, we will get back to talking about the game very shortly, but just a moment on the atmosphere here today. I mean, you lads have barely been able to hear me, and that's saying something.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I said it before the game, the chance for these fans to come down and see the team playing in pre-season. A lot of them probably don't get the opportunity to go to Ellen Road, so the atmosphere is fantastic. It's a real party mood atmosphere. It doesn't feel like a pre-season game. And the fans now will go off into Dublin, into the sunshine, and I'm sure enjoy a few drinks.
Oh, absolutely. Well, look, do not go anywhere, because very shortly we are going to have a look at those goals. We're going to have a look at all of the highlights and the analysis. We'll see you in a few minutes.